And when the Minister of Finance giggled her way through the budget, half of her colleagues were asleep. Half were asleep. I know she write it. And though she write it, she couldn't even read it well. I mean, if it's me, I can understand. You can't read well. I born so. But she can read well too. She ain't born so. And that's the problem. That is the problem. I made the point in Parliament, you know. I told them, we're wasting time. Because in Parliament, you could talk until the cock come home. Whatever you say, they care. They'll listen to you. The eyes have it. I told them, for example, in Parliament, I said, where you putting the bus route from $200 to $2,000? When every other day the Eastern Main Road have flood. When people go past, I told them the last road they built was 20 years ago. I said, and since then, you have put over 200,000 cars on the road. Where the cars will go? I said, why don't you have specific hours? In the morning, 6 to 9, and in the evening, 4 to 7, when you could open the whole bus route for people and let people drive on the bus route. And one way they go, and the Eastern Main Road, they go the other way. But that ain't good, that ain't big, because that comes from our side. They believe that they alone have the ideas. They alone have the reservoir of ideas. I told them in Parliament, I say as a young man, I used to listen to Gerard Montano and Winston Mahabir and Suki in our old pie radio in Longdonville. Government broadcasting unit, I told them. And it began at 8 o'clock. And to hear the debate at 8 o'clock, because it's an old tube radio, you have to put it on at 7. Beep, 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 beep. 1 hour to warm up. And the whole village will come to listen to Suki and Winston Mahabir, the silver-tongued orator. And I used to long to be in Parliament. Today when I go to Parliament, I bust one big long stoops. That's what has come to. Children come to Parliament and they sneak out because they're bored to death. And I'm telling you, therefore, that is what Parliament has been reduced to. It is now a plaything for Patrick. Because the Prime Minister himself has no respect for Parliament anymore. I want you to remember, you know, when we had this no confidence motion against the Minister of Finance, it was the Prime Minister and his government that called a meeting in Woodford Square. Woodford Square, a PNM rally, and left Parliament to go and address the PNM rally. You could have never seen that in Eric Williams days. Never. Don't forget, you know, that it was the same Prime Minister who sat down in Parliament for the last 2 days and refused to take part in the budget debate, refused to give an account of his stewardship, refused to say how the last budget was spent or not spent. Not a word. Contempt. Contempt. I tell you again, more than 365 murders, 15 in 4 days. And the Minister of National Security even come to say boo. Not he must squeak. And I must take that. I must take that. My colleagues must take that. You must take that. My friends, it's wrong. Property tax. Property tax. Just so. Just so. Because I tell you, if you don't own a house, you're still in trouble because your rent will go up. So there's no escape. You know you are not paying for the extravagant spending of the government. We told them so. We told them so. We said, put some money under your pillow for a rainy day. They ain't put it under the pillow. No, they're taking from you property tax. And I tell you tonight, if there is one issue, that we all must rise up against, it's property tax. Don't pay a blasted cent. Don't pay a cent. Let them take all of us to court. All of us. It's wrong. You know something? Even St. Vincent, for example. St. Vincent, just Ralph Gonsalves, the Prime Minister, just put out a new constitution. And he's taking it to the people in a referendum on November 25th. Little St. Vincent taking it to the people in a referendum. Not here. Because the PNM know what is good for us. They know what is good for us. And therefore I make the point to you that the time has come when all of us must ask ourselves some serious questions. My dear friends, my dear colleagues, my dear listeners, today, Mr. Manning remains unloved by the vast majority of the people of this country. And yet, though he is unloved, he is still in the saddle. The question is why? Why is a prime minister who is so unloved, unprecedented, unsurpassed, unparalleled, why is a prime minister who is so unloved still in the saddle? And the answer is simple. He remains in the saddle because of the disunity among the opposition forces. He remains in the saddle. He remains in the saddle because the party to which we belong, I'm telling you again tonight, I'm telling you again tonight, not one of us live in the UNC. They could do what they want. They could do what they want. But Mr. Manning is in his saddle because the party to which we belong refused to accept change. A change in its leadership, you heard Gypsy. A change in the way it conducts its business. We postponed a national convention of the party, as illegal as it would have been. We postponed it because of the budget debate. And the budget debate, our performance was the worst in history. Our performance was the worst in history. And we postponed a convention because we have to prepare for the budget debate. Not even the Shadow Minister of Finance talking the budget debate. What preparation? What preparation? What preparation? And me, who tried to get in a little stomach here and there, in the debate, they tried to block. And that's what I'm talking about. And those are the kinds of reasons why Mr. Manning is still in his saddle. Mr. Manning remains in his saddle because of the indifference of so many of our people, our brothers and sisters, who prefer to sit on the fence and let others do for them what together we all can do for ourselves. They said, not me. I ain't politics. I ain't like politics. It's not for me, it's for Ramesh. Not me, it's for Jack and Gypsy. It's for Sunil. Because I don't like politics. What the hell are they talking about? Every blasted thing in this country is politics. The way you breathe, the way you sleep, the food you eat, the clothes you wear, the bus you ride. There is not a single thing in this country that politics doesn't influence. But they stand on the fence and they ask you to do for them what they refuse to do. Because they do why? They don't want to get their bank book disturbed. They don't want to get their promotion affected. They want to look nice. And if they perceive by chance that you're going to win, man, they rush like they're crazy to join them and give you advice.